Alright guys, whether you're looking to relieve some back pain, maybe just a tight back after a lot of pulling, a lot of hinging, maybe that you've done in class, I just want to share with you a few of my favorite stretches. So the first one I like is if you start with a box. So I usually tell people start with it on about the 30-inch side. You're going to bring one leg up, almost like a pigeon stretch if you're familiar with yoga. And then from here we can play with a couple variations. So I can lean forwards, and then I can take my torso over my foot, and then take my torso over my quad, or I can try to stay upright and then drop my back knee, almost like I'm pulling my shin towards the chest. Even with that, I can add in a slight reach. So that you should feel all through your outer glute. So then I will drop my back knee down. I will play with the variations with my torso, leaning forward. I try to spend 20 to 30 seconds in each position, and an additional 20 to 30 seconds with a soft bend in my back knee. So that equals about 60 seconds at a minimum per leg. Then I'll bring my leg down and I'll switch and I'll do the same thing on the opposite leg. One of my other favorite stretches is the couch stretch, but there's a couple key things to think about when you do the couch stretch. So first I'm going to come down into a half kneeling position. The closer my knee is to the wall, so the knee on the ground, the harder the stretch is going to be. The further away, the easier stretch. So I usually start somewhere about 90-90, and then I bring my toe up. If that feels too easy, I'm going to slide my knee back. And then from here, I want to think about pushing my hips forward, like I'm trying to bring my shoulders back to the wall. So what we don't want to be doing is holding this position. That's not going to be doing a whole lot for us. I want to think about lengthening through the spine, slightly driving our hip forward. And then I like to hold this for about 60 seconds, if I can, maybe a little bit longer, closer to 90. So for me, I typically have really tight quads. Sometimes my hip flexors get super tight, which causes my back to be a little achy, maybe feel a little bit tight. So this is a constant work in progress for me. As you can see, my knee wasn't quite all the way to the wall. The chest is not totally vertical. This is definitely a work in progress and something I'm working on each day. So I like to add in a little bit of a rotational piece to stretch out my back as well, because we're always in that hinging position. So it's nice, it'll let go, let me loosen it up a little bit if I add in a slight bit of rotation. So what I like to do is I like to lay on my back and I bring my knees into a 90-degree angle and my arms are out to a T. From there, I slowly drop my legs and my knees to the left while I look with my eyes to the opposite way. Then as my knees come back to center, so do my eyes, and then they switch. So I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm gonna lay down. Arms out to the side for stability. Knees are at 90 degrees. As my knees go down to the left, my eyes are gonna rotate towards the right, nice and controlled. Then here I focus on taking 3 big deep breaths into my side. And then I control back up. Eyes come back to center. And now I go the other way. Again, nice big deep breaths into your side. And I come back to center. Alright guys, one other stretch that I really like, that I find really helps my back, a little bit of my hamstring attachment as well, is when I take the bar, I set it at floor press height. From there, I'm going to straddle over the bar, so I step over it with the leg that I want to work. From here, I'm just going to bring my hamstring attachment into the glute, kind of right on the bar, and then from here, I can kind of rotate open, or I can roll the bar to find that sticky point, maybe the inner hamstring adductor where it all attaches. And this is just a different pressure, a different way to hit the attachment that maybe a lacrosse ball or foam roller can't get. Alright, so those are a few of my favorite ways to relieve some of the back pain, maybe some back tightness that you might be experiencing. I incorporate them multiple days a week to make sure I can keep training hard. The open is coming to an end. We've seen a lot of heavy pulling. Hopefully this week we'll see some gymnastics. Stick with me, see what 20.5 is, and see if I can clinch my spot to the CrossFit Games this year as an individual.